Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you have visited before. My name is Christy, and this channel is all about money and mindset, and the intentional focus on those two things, money and mindset, to increase joy and happiness in our lives and to decrease stress. And so I'm coming to you today with another cash stuffing video for my side hustles. I've got one kind of interesting one to talk about today too that hasn't been in any of my previous videos, so let's go ahead and dive in. And I'm going to put these things off to the side. I'll talk about those where I get these things as we are moving along, but let's dive into the numbers. So first of all, this is just a cute little notebook that I found at Target that I keep all of my income transactions in, as well as my overall where my money is going. So let's talk about the income transactions for the last couple of weeks. So I have two different side hustles. I am a part-time reseller of new and used clothing on Poshmark, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and Mercari. And then I also am a self-published author. So once a month, I do have royalty earnings that I include in my transactions. And there's one interesting one here today that I'll talk about here in just a minute as we go through these. So I did have a couple of, here's a sale from eBay from earlier this month that I hadn't included yet because the last time I did this video was at the end of May or beginning of June. So I try to do these every couple of weeks. Ideally, I would do it on a weekly basis, but you know, we all have constraints on our time, right? So I have a transaction from eBay here. I have two transactions from Poshmark, so $74.20 and then $20.15 from this past week. Now I have finally started to aggressively list on all of these platforms again with the inventory that I've been buying over the last couple of months. And so I have already seen an increase in my sales across the various platforms. And so you're gonna start seeing more side hustle income coming in from these different platforms. Now here's kind of an interesting one. And I'm including it here because this is just something that I wouldn't include in my normal budget, but I went to the casino a couple of weeks ago. I love to play blackjack. I haven't been to the casino in probably a year and a half, if not a little bit more, COVID and all those things. And I just thought I'd treat myself a couple of weeks ago, one night when I didn't have my son. And so I went to the casino, I played blackjack, I had my limit of the amount of money I was comfortable losing, and I actually won, so yay. After you include what I invested originally, I walked away with $80 in my pocket. So I'm putting that in my side hustle income because, like I said, it doesn't really fit in my regular budget. So I'm just including that here. So for a total, I'm stuffing today of $191.92. So what are we gonna do with all of this money? So my income total here, I round this down just to keep things easy. So $191. I take taxes of 30% off of the things for my reselling business. So this doesn't include my little bit of winnings from the casino, just from my reselling. And so that leaves me with $158. Now, the first thing that I want to do for sure is I want to include or take care of my business expenses. So I have various subscriptions and a virtual assistant for sharing my Poshmark closet. So I want to put money in there for that. Throw a little bit money into my inventory envelopes. So covering my expenses for the month or helping to cover those, I'm stuffing $60 in those envelopes. And I'm sorry, this is kind of a mess. When I wrote this out, apparently it's smudged and I tried to make it clean again. You can see it's still smudgy. Ugh. It drives me a little bit crazy, but that's okay. So then I take the rest of the money that I have and I put them into some of my sinking fund envelopes where I feel like I probably have underfunded them, or in the case of my lawn care, I just started that one up about a month and a half ago. So trying to get some money in there because money comes in and out of these envelopes quite quickly, with the exception of my author expenses. But going into my various sinking funds, I'm stuffing 4 of my sinking funds today for a total of $98. So let's see here. And I just said that I'm only stuffing 4 of my sinking funds. I actually have 12 sinking funds that I stuff on a regular basis. This is a little organizer with sinking fund envelopes, cash envelopes, and trackers that I got from Amazon pretty inexpensively. It's from Clever Fox, and I'll be sure to link that in below because you're going to see those envelopes here as I am stuffing the various cash envelopes. So I'm going to put this off to the side here, and I'm going to go ahead and pull out my cash, and I'm going to put this down here. Oh, there was a 20 that goes there. 5, and my ones. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stuff my business expenses first. So these are just 2 cash envelopes that I got from subscribing to the Budget Moms weekly newsletter. So these are just regular printer paper that I printed out from my printer, cut them out, taped them together, and I have envelopes. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and stuff my business expenses first, and I'm gonna be putting $40 in here today. And based on the last time, I have $30 in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add today, what is today? It's the 20th. Okay, and I'm gonna add 40, so I will have $70 in here today. 30, adding 40, 20, 40, 60, and 70. Good to go there. This tracker also was a free resource from the Budget Mom. I get a lot of stuff from the Budget Mom. I'm a big fan of her systems and everything. So definitely, if you hadn't heard of her, you should definitely check her out. Okay, inventory. So in my inventory envelope, let's see how much I have right now. I should have $65 here. 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. And I'm going to be adding $20 today. I am waiting for some sales at my local consignment stores again because I only go to certain clearance sales that they have where like 90% off or like a 135 sale, because I feel like I'm definitely getting the most value for my dollar in terms of my inventory. So I'm gonna add $20 here, so I should have 85, 20, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85. Okay, so taking care of all of my business expenses, that's fantastic. Now I'm gonna go ahead and stuff my sinking funds. So gifts is getting $20 today. I've talked about this in previous videos, that this ends up being a very busy envelope. I should have $40 in here right now, which I do, and I'm going to be adding $20 to this. So here's the thing. At the beginning of the year, I took a total guess on how much money I would need. Gifts could be birthday gifts, they could be Mother's Day gifts, Father's Day gifts, friends' birthdays, teacher appreciation, anything where I am buying something for someone else for an occasion, I am including under the holistic category of gifts. And taking a complete stab in the dark at the beginning of the year about what this would be, I have greatly underfunded this. However, at the end of this year, I know that I'm going to be able to look at this tracker. I'm going to be able to see exactly where I was spending money throughout the year. And so next year, I should get this envelope a lot closer to what it's supposed to be. So that's the thing that, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel is I'll actually know what number I need in this envelope at the end of this year. So I'm not constantly going in and out of it like I feel like I am right now. So adding $20 to this, 20, 40, 60, good to go. And these, yes, these are the envelopes that came as part of that little Clever Fox system. The other thing that I should mention, and this is probably one of my favorite things in the entire world, these are Parkour erasable pens. Once I started using these pens, I will never ever go back because I make so many mistakes. I'm going through and doing my budget or just taking notes, you know, at my regular job and things like that. So it's great to be able to actually erase things. So Parkour erasable pens, I will click to these, or I will link to these in the description below as well. I'm gonna do my house category next. This is another one that I didn't really know how much money I was going to need in this. I figured at the beginning of the year, I didn't know I was gonna be buying a house, which I did. I was living in a townhouse. And so there are lots of various expenses for things that I need to buy, you know, for the kitchen or, you know, decorative things for the house or just regular kind of inside the house maintenance. So that's what this envelope is really meant to cover. And I'm gonna be putting $30 in here today. So I should have $70 already. So 50, 70. And I am going to put $30 in here. So I should have, whoops, $100 in here today. So you can see, like, I bought a fan. You know, it's been super hot here. I don't know, I think across the country it's been warmer than usual. So that's, you know, an example of something that I'm buying out of this particular envelope. So that's for everything inside the house. Now for everything outside the house, actually, this was my travel envelope. I'm gonna be doing cashless for my travel budgeting from now on. So I'm repurposing this particular envelope. You can see I didn't have my erasable pens when I started these envelopes. So I'm gonna be using this for lawn care, but really anything outside the house in terms of maintenance is going into this envelope. So my house is for inside, house envelope is for inside the house, lawn care is for everything outside and maintaining the house. And I'm gonna go ahead and put $30 in here as well. And you can see I should have $140 in here, 50, 100, 120, 140. And I am going to add $30. So I should have 170 in here now. So we have 50, 1, 20, 40, 60, and 70. All right. And last but not least, so usually then anything that's kind of left over from my side hustle, I put in this envelope. So this is for author expenses. And I mentioned earlier that one of my side hustles is that I'm a self-published author. I haven't published anything for quite a while. It's been about 5 years since I published anything. However, I do want to get back into a regular self-publishing routine. And as a self-published author, I have to pay for everything myself in advance. And that includes things like marketing, and that can get pretty expensive. So this is just a little sinking fund that I created to help me get started. I have a feeling I will be spending more than is in this envelope when I get started, but at least it's a little bit of cash that I have set aside already to help me with that. So I should have $187 in here right now. So 51, 50, 70, 80, 5, 6, 7. And I'm gonna be adding $18 to this today. So 20, and I'm going to add $18, which that should be 5. And then, oh goodness, I can't do math in my head. Should be 205, I think. 205, yeah. Let's see if I'm right on that. If I can do the math in my head. How close did I get? This is why I need a calculator. Usually I use the calculator on my phone, but I use my phone for filming, so there you go. Let's see. So 51, 50, 70, 80, 90, 95, 200, 201, 202, 203, 204, 205. Got it right. Oh, I'm kind of impressed with myself right now. Math in my head, the old-fashioned way. All right, so there you go. I have stuffed all of my side hustle envelopes, and I am just thrilled with being able to add a little bit of extra money to these different envelopes where I know I have underfunded. And if you like these videos, please be sure to give them a thumbs up. If you want to see all of the videos that I publish to my channel, be sure to click the subscribe button, and I'll see you all again soon. Thank you. Bye.